I do often think that the reason that they're feeling that is because they're looking for a return on investment in marketing. And to your point, if they don't have a full understanding of what it is, then they don't know what it is that they're investing in.
Right.
So, how do you help solve that for some of the people that you come across where you're
Yeah.
trying to explain like the framework and the return on investment when it comes down to it? Because I think they're looking for leads, they're looking for revenue. Like, if you're not showing me this, why would I invest all of this amount?
Right.
So how do you tackle that?
So we ask a lot of good questions. I mean, it's trying to uncover, looking at the data. And I think this is another, uh, you know, inexperience. Like if you haven't been exposed to the difference between data and an insight, um, I think CEOs or C-suite, they're looking at data points, but they don't know what the insight, what is that data telling me? So
The story.
what's the story? So
Uh-huh.
we look at it and go, all right, 60% of your customers are female. Why? So a lot of it's just like sitting down going, or they go, my audience is this men 40 and older. Why? Why do you think that? Have those points been validated? Um, is it just because that's the only place that you've been spending money, or is that the as you look at the market, is that what your product or service? Can it not solve other people's problems? So it's just
Yeah.
going and like asking why. Um, I think we look at a data point and go 60%, it's all females. Let's figure out why. Why are they buying from us? And so, after you ask maybe two or three questions, it's, oh, that women feel empowered by my product. Women feel more confident and have feel like they have more self-worth by buying our product. Ooh, that's an interesting insight. We can craft stories around that. Or, looking at someone's data and trying to get them not to be bought into the likes. I call it the vanity metrics.
Yes.
It's junk. I was like, so if your team is only producing and serving upstream, we got this many followers and and this many likes or this many engagements, and they're going, but I'm not seeing sales off of it. It's like, well, let's talk about that. Every again, those levers that I talked about in that advertising framework of social versus paid versus owned versus earned, every single one of those media buckets, that media mix, have different runways. So if I'm sitting with a C-suite and go, you want to get X revenue in this short of time frame, we need to focus all of our resources and our time and money to then focus on that objective because it's got a short runway and you have very limited time, money, and budget. Um, but you can't sacrifice the greater pipeline. So just helping them
Yeah.
understand the balance between these are tactics that will help your long-term sustainability. If your objective is I'm just in the market, and when we start talking to them, I'm like, ooh, you're trying to not just sell a product, you're also creating a category that you're
Yeah.
number one in. That's a long runway, but so that's two different communication and marketing and advertising strategies. That are you willing to invest in creating the category? Because you can't do it with just advertising and getting leads and revenue generation, right? So it's
Yeah.
really helping them, the executives really understand what they've said as their business strategy. How do we apply it into their go to market strategy, and how do we use the power of marketing to then execute on that brand? How do we execute across those 7 Ps? And then how do we determine what resources to spend in the where? Where do we need to show up to educate? Where do we need to show up to inform and inspire? Because changing somebody's perception to think differently about something, um, that might take 2 or 3 years. But yet you still need to also have mechanics in place to generate immediate sales by stealing market share from the nearest competitor, and different, positioning yourself from those competitors that you're trying to steal market share. The choices you make in those decisions, the messages that you communicate are very different. And you've got to look at, what message do I need to convey? What's the objective I'm trying to meet? And what media and medium is going to be the best one to attack my bigger funnel. And not like salespeople, I think, are so consumed with the sales funnel. That's a different funnel than
Yeah.
like the brand funnel of, you
Yeah.
can't sell to people who don't know about you. You can't sell to people who don't even have you in their consideration set. You're not going to win sales from people who have not preferred you or the category yet. So that then you get into like, oh, now they're aware of me, they've considered me, ooh, there's some preference there. That becomes the sales pipeline of,
No, I
how do
couldn't
I
agree
attack
more.
bottom of the funnel? And every business, their funnel is shaped differently. That's why it's like, whenever I hear, oh, this agency, they have a templated approach, and it's like, there is no magic formula.